Every year, students, their families, and churches fill boxes for Operation Christmas Child. The project helps children around the world. But now an atheist group wants to keep at least one school from participating. FaithWire's Billy Hallowell joins us now with the story. Billy, why is an atheist group targeting Operation Christmas Child?
You know, this is sort of an annual tradition for the Freedom from Religion Foundation and some of these other organizations. They basically believe that it's a violation of the First Amendment for these schools to be participating. And in this case, you had a Texas school, part of the Galena Park Independent School District, that was taking part. And so they fired off a letter last month, basically strongly encouraging them to no longer participate in Operation Christmas Child.
Parents opposing what happened here?
Well, that's what's really interesting. So far, it's been very quiet. Even the school district hasn't said much. They had initially posted an image of the kids basically helping collect money for Operation Christmas Child. We have no idea how many years they were participating in this, but those images can no longer be found. And that was right after they fired off the initial letter. You see, the thing with these cases is that many of the school districts, they get really frightened because it's expensive to go to court, to fight the Freedom from Religion Foundation. So a lot of them just back off entirely.
Well, Billy, legally, if it's a voluntary student-led project, why would the school board stop it?
Yeah, so that's the interesting thing here. I think the fear I just mentioned generally is what drives this, because you have a situation where a powerful legal organization, remember the Freedom from Religion Foundation, they have staff attorneys. They have people who are working with them to send these letters off. And many times they just send a letter and they make a request. Other times these letters are more strongly worded. And when you do have the intermingling sometimes of, faith coming into the public schools, it's a very sensitive topic. And these districts become afraid, even if they were to win a case, the cost to go to court to deal with that back and forth, it's often easier to just say, okay, we're not going to participate. And so you'll often see school districts and towns do that in these cases, even in cases where they think they could win, simply because they don't want to spend taxpayer money on fighting the actual battle itself.
We have done several stories on the Freedom from Religion Foundation. What can you tell us about that organization? Again, it's the Freedom from Religion Foundation, and what people can do if they find themselves on the receiving end of this group's protest.
So they are based out in Madison, Wisconsin. They are a national group. They have chapters all over the country, and I believe they have about 33,000 members. So it's a fairly large organization. They're devoted to the separation of church and state. And so that will manifest itself in all sorts of different arguments. You will see, this is Texas, right? We've seen cases all over the country where they have gotten involved. And their goal, again, is to separate church and state. But oftentimes it will feel like there are certain cases where you'll say, but is that really a violation? Now, we don't know all the details of what the school district was doing here in terms of Operation Christmas Child, but we know that this is a wonderful project. And I will say, to the Freedom from Religion Foundation's credit in this case, they said, it's a great cause to help children in need, but we want you to do it with a secular organization. So I have often found, covering them now for over a decade, that one of the hard things I think for believers is you're looking at a solution in culture, right? You know what the solution is. You're watching culture go a different way. And everybody at these types of organizations, they're pushing against the one solution we know will help and will work. And so that's what you'll notice in most of these cases, that it really is about removing God from any sort of public arena. And by public, I mean government arena.
So quickly, Billy, we're almost out of time, but where do things stand now? I mean, is basically the Operation Christmas Child at this school going to be stopped?
Yeah, so from what we know, the Freedom from Religion Foundation is claiming victory. They put out a second press release the other day saying that they were assured by the school district that they would no longer participate. They would no longer collect money for Operation Christmas Child. So as far as we know, that is where it stands. We're going to do a little more digging and try to find out. But my sense is usually in these cases, the school district will remain quiet because they don't want to drum up a bigger situation and spark a response from frustrated parents.
All right, Billy Hallowell with FaithWire.com. Thank you so much, Billy, for staying on top of this story for us.
Thanks for having me.